welcome to Let's Grow Shopping. I'm just going to make a quick video showing you how I net this quince tree. It's taller than I can reach, and the quince are tiny, like a bit bigger than pea-sized, and once they've set fruit like that and there's no more flowers on the tree, then it's time to get the net over before the fruit fly move in. I just want to say a little bit about the size of the net you need, because when I first started doing this I thought, oh, it's 6 metre by 6 metre, that's huge, surely I don't need that much. And if I'm looking at a peach tree that I did a while ago, I netted a while ago, and it's probably about 2.5 metres high, and from one side to the other 2 metres. So if you're going up the side 2.5 metres, across the top like 1.5 metres or 2 metres, and down the other side 2.5 metres, that's like 7.5 metres worth of net to get from the floor to the floor on the other side. And so you do need quite a big net, but 6 metres by 6 metres generally is about the size of net you want if you want to make it manageable. I'll just chuck it over to my other peach tree over here, and that's quite a bit bigger, and that's getting on to be a pain to get a net over. It's about 3 metres high. You need a long stick, and you need a lot of net. So that one's a bigger net. I think that's maybe a 6 by 10 metre net to cover the whole thing, and yeah, so that's getting out of my manageability sort of state. So it pays to keep them about 2.5 metres high, the trees, and about as big as that. That's a comfortable size to get a net over, and you still get plenty of fruit on a tree that big. We've got quite a few fruit trees that are starting to fruit this year for the first time, and to save on future postage I went and bought a couple of these 20 metre by 6 metre fruit fly nets. And so I'm in the process of trying to chop these into more manageable lengths. This is a 6 by 20, and I want it to be probably about 6 by 6. 3 by 6.6 metre lengths of fruit fly netting. 3 trees worth of fruit fly protection. So I'm using proper fruit fly net, not bird mesh. So this is tiny mesh to stop fruit fly getting in. It's a 5 by 5 metre net, and it's been used before, so there are holes in it, but I'm hoping I can make it so the holes have minimum effect. I went out and bought a load of these clips. These are 1 inch. I think it's because that is about 1 inch when you can get it fully open, and they're pretty tight. It's amazing what the wind can do to a net when it's on the tree and blow these off. And I've also got this extendable pole that I just want something to put under the net and get it over the top of the tree without it catching in all the gaps in the netting. Once you've got it evenly over the tree as best you can, then it's time to bunch it in at the bottom at the trunk. and stopping any fruit fly getting up underneath it. The fruit fly breed in the soil beneath the tree, so they're just going to migrate upwards and into your tree. Some people put poles to give the tree room to grow whilst it's under the net, but I end up usually pruning all this top bit off so that it ends up at the same height next year. So I'm not too bothered about that. I'd rather just preserve the fruit for at least some harvest and make it easier for myself to do this again in the future, rather than let it grow into a massive tree and yeah, have all the problems getting the net over again. The first step when you've got the net over is to pinch the front and the back of the net, like you can roll them together so that the gap closes up, and then pinch it with a clamp on either side of the tree trunk, and then it closes all the gap up around here, and hopefully nothing will get in. And then after you've done this, you're left with two big open gaps out towards the end, towards each end of the net, away from the trunk. And here's the gap, and I just basically roll it up as best as I can to close that gap up. But again, the wind has a really good habit of blowing these open, and so you need quite a lot more clips than I would have thought it would need. But yeah, after a good bit of wild weather, usually half of these have come undone and you need to come back and do it again. Okay, we're done. Not absolutely perfect, but not bad. All the nets are on, looking like dressed up for Halloween. 2 plum trees in the middle there, peach tree at the back, quince tree in the foreground, and then at the back here is another large peach tree. Hopefully get some great harvest out of all this work.